Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host. And this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. And last time, I did a review of the new Boris Karloff mystery comic. And I had some... And I mentioned how disappointing that book was. And I had to tell you, I thought about it so much afterwards. And I thought that, the artwork didn't match the type of story, and the writing was really poor for this kind of stuff as far as I was concerned. And I got to thinking last night, and in just a few minutes, while I was taking a shower, I conceived a Boris Karloff type story of my own that would fit better in there. And when I got out, I quickly wrote it down, wrote an outline of the story, so I might be able to use it sometime. But anyway, And I was saying, these guys, I don't think they've ever even read a Boris Karloff comic, or any Gold Key comic for that matter. They just got a hold of they got hold of the name Gold Key, because it's got a name factor, and they're paying licensing to use Boris Karloff's name and likeness, and then nothing in there actually looks like him. See, this is in the 60s. This is what Boris Karloff looked like, and the few images of Boris Karloff they've got in here, like on the cover, don't look like him. I mean, I love this. Like I said, I love that cover, but it doesn't really look like Karloff. So I went and dug out something I could get my hands on quickly, an old Boris Karloff comic, and this is from which I have shown before, just because I did episodes on a bunch of Mystery Comics Digest from Gold Key, and this is a Boris Karloff Tales of Mystery issue, and it's got lots of stories, lots of art, spooky stuff, but I wanted to just briefly go through one story. This is The Man Who Lived in Yesterday. See, and this is how they portrayed Boris Karloff in the comic, and it looks like him. Here on the splash page, as he's introducing the story, it says about magic and stuff. So here, this fellow and his fiance are driving in the country. They stop at a little tea house. The gypsy lady reads their tea leaves, and of course gypsy is derogatory to the Romany, but they call her a gypsy lady, and I think they just call them Romany. And she reads her the tea leaves, and she talks to the lady, and but she's shocked by what she sees of the young man, and she gives the lady a card, and whispers to her to come do what the card tells you. And the card told her, she was talking later, go to this such and such a club at such and such a time. And he goes to pick her up, and she's taking a cab. He follows her. It's to the club. So I thought she didn't think she was going to do that. Gets there, and he can't get in. The door is cemented shut. The place has been closed down for years. The cop tells her. Inside, she sees all these other people dressed as witches and in robes and stuff, and all kinds of weird stuff going on. And she's thrilled. And the lady says, "Take your pick. You can go to the through various doorways to the black magic, as they call it. Go into today, tomorrow, or yesterday." She wants to go into yesterday, so she comes back the next day and brings her fiance with her. He wants to go with her, just because he thinks it's all a gypsy trick, as he puts it, and it may very well be. And she goes in, and see the swirling clouds and stuff, and they see primitive cave types as they are worshiping the moon and engaging in early magic, and then they go on, and they had a period of time Egypt, and then to their French Revolution, and the Salem witch trials, and she just refuses. He tries to get her to go back and stop, but she refuses, and so he goes the other way and says they're going to burn this witch, so let's go, let's join her. And they get up next to the fire and smoke, and they're lost in the smoke, and finally he gets her to leave, and he says it's all fake. He kicks over the cauldron, and says it has mushrooms and hallucinogenic stuff, and they get out, and he has convinced her. What a fool I was, darling. Black magic, what rot. But he's having second thoughts, thinking it might actually have been. Of course, the hallucinogenics and stuff have always played a part in magical rituals and this stuff. And that's just one brief little story. And some other nice stuff. I've got to read this sometime. Valley of the Monsters, a text story in here, and other weird stuff. Now, if these guys had just read just one of these digest comics, they would have gotten a master class on what kinds of stories, how to tell a good story. And this book would not have been so disappointing, because it was the first issue of their new endeavor, and they should have put their best foot forward and used their best talent, or at least their best writing and art, to at least start it off with, to get you drawn in. And I don't think they did it. They did that. And I forgot to mention, is all these masks on the wall. They look like various masks from villains from Scooby-Doo. I don't know if it is or not, but it's just what it looks like. So that's what I've got for you this time, real quickly, real briefly. Mystery Comics Digest, Boris Karloff, and this is from the early 70s, reprinting a story from probably about 65. And it's a lot of fun, and that's what Boris Karloff Tales of Mystery should be like. Even they can add more gore, more language, more adult stuff now, but still, that's what it would have. They could have had some decent stories in that. And that's all I've got for you this time, real briefly. Thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe. And great painted covers. And remember, comics are art.